Okay, so Lake was asking a little bit about the sacrament. So I think there's lots of attributes that we could, or aspects we could talk about. So we'll first start with Moroni 4 and 5, and then we can add to that after. Okay. So first of all, on the full though that he was bringing up, that is 35:18, I think. Because that was actually part of the specific question. I think it's 35:18. If not, we'll pause and we'll find it. Oh, I remember. Oh, full of purpose of heart. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a minute while we go find the verse real quick. Because maybe it's 27, but anyways, let me pause. So we found what we were looking for. Ben realized that we should look for filled and not full. Same meaning, but when you're doing explicit text searches, the actual word matters.
Yeah.
Right? So, but here, so 3rd Nephi 18 deals with the sacrament on multiple aspects. One being that people need to be baptized. So that
Mhm.
means unbaptized little children should be not taking the sacrament and that they should be repenting.
Oh,
Um,
wait, you mean that the LDS Church isn't doing it right?
yeah, I can randomly open to any page in the Book of Mormon and show you how they're doing it wrong.
I believe
I
that.
really can. I've
Yeah,
done
they
it.
don't even live by their own scriptural texts.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
Joseph
Well, that
Smith.
just makes it, that just makes them like the rest of Christianity.
Yeah, well, Joseph Smith said abide the Book of Mormon, not use it as a token.
Yeah.
Um, so,
Right.
anyways,
Well, just like Yeshua said, live by my word, not use it as a token, and the Christians mess that one up too.
well, so did the Jews when he was
Yeah,
Yahweh.
exactly. Exactly.
Anyways,
So
uh,
carrying on with the sacrament.
so um,
Sorry.
anyway, so this field it has two purposes. And so this gets with the idea of padres, which goes basically how there's deeper levels in meaning. Um, and
Nice.
so, and in addition, the surface level does not contradict the more deep level, nor does the deeper level contradict the surface level. Okay. Now, sacrament, to go along with the physical level, that I have a bit of wine and I do 2 slices of bread. As you can see, I've had half already, but that goes along with the physical build. But on the spiritual field, um, we could go look at the blessings, and the blessings actually talk about how we are to be filled with his spirit or his behavior. Okay. So on the blessings, I do want to share something I put together just to make it easier to see what I'm talking about. So let me get that ready. Share, and I probably need to make it bigger. There we go.
Yeah, for all the blind people in the back.
Hey, yeah, well, I have bigger screens than most people. Resolution
Yep.
and
Etc.
size.
Etc. Etc. Yeah.
Anyways, um, so here to keep his commandments at the end is such that they will, which that's a key word that goes along with Torah. There's 3 words that goes along with Torah. Statutes, commandments, and judgments. Okay. There's 2 words that go with law of Moses, which are 2 different things. I'll just bring this out. Performances and ordinances. Okay. There's differences. Moses is done away with at the cross. Torah is not. And law of Moses is primarily the 2 daily lambs that was given as a punishment. There's a little more to it, but that's the most of it. Okay. So, anyways, so at the end it says, "And we keep his commandments, and otherwise Torah, which he hath given them, that they may always have his spirit or behavior to be with them.
Another interesting thing about that, to keep his commandments, that's how we take his name upon us.
Yeah, which I even show up here. Character. The 1828 dictionary actually has a definition of name that goes with character, and in Hebrew idiom or symbolism, name also goes along with character. You take on when you take on a name, you act that way. Just as go ahead, Ben.
So the whole thing about taking on the name of Christ, it's not about running around saying Jesus, Jesus, and Jesus this, Jesus that, and all that other Jesus.
No, it's not magic.
It is it is it is a process that we go about as we learn to live Torah.
Yes. And Yeshua's character is defined by Torah. Okay.
Mhm.
As in John 1:1 or John 1, I forget the actual verse, but anyways, John 1, early verses brings out how Yeshua is the perfect personification of Torah. And the new translation, also known as JST or Inspired Version, brings that out even more. I can add a link to that or we can get into it, or both. But anyways, it's the character. And so that they may always have his behavior or his spirit, his Torah, okay? Because Torah defines how we are to behave. That's how we're supposed to be full.
By the way, Torah means instruction or holy instruction in this case.
Yeah, so there's various definitions or translations of Torah. The Jews like to translate it as instructions. The Christians like to translate it as law.
Yes.
But that is what we're supposed to be full of. In addition, what goes along with that, as you're eating, you have teachings. As you can see here, I'm eating. And drinking. And I'm going to say this for a joke, being married, but anyways. But actually DNC, it'll be easier to show from here. But DNC 89 actually gets into how while you're having sacrament, you should have a feast, which goes along with being physically full.
Right.
And that's connected to something that Paul says in the New Testament. And I will show that in just a minute as I can show. Oh, okay. So here's the DC 89. Oh, but that's using wine, so that's not the one we want. Okay, well, one thing, 1 Corinthians 11:17 through 34 is about the sacrament. Paul complains about people getting drunk. And so what's happening is some people are coming to the gathering together, or as in from LDS single ward terminology, the linger longer, okay? But it should be during more the first, but anyways, but just to kind of get of an idea. And during this meal part, before everybody gets there, people are drinking the wine too much and they're getting drunk, not leaving enough for others and not leaving enough for the sacrament, okay? And that's what this chiasm gets into in 1 Corinthians 11:17 through 34, which is tied to D&C 89 at, it's the first couple verses. Oh, it's this one. Insomuch that man drinketh wine or strong drink among you, behold, it is not good. As in, they're just drinking it to drink it, okay, to get drunk. Which is a problem that was going on in here in 1 Corinthians 11:17 through 34. They're drinking it before they're having their sacrament. They're drinking it too much first. But only in assembling yourselves together to offer up your sacraments before Yeshua or Yahweh. Okay? which goes along how Dean C 89 says sacrament is with wine. And the drunkardness is going on in the Corinthians 11:17 through 34 because they're drinking too much of it before everybody's there and sharing it. Okay. And behold, this should be, wait a minute. This should be, that means, that's,
Wine. Yes.
yeah, but this is the highly preferred preference. Okay. Wine. Yea, pure wine of the grape of the vine of your own make. This is after D&C 27 that people like to use to say water. Now, water's okay, but after Yeshua said you can use anything, he said, go make your own wine, is what it states in the verse. And then later in that section, it brings out how Yeshua will come drinking wine on the lees. Lees is a byproduct of making wine. But anyways, sorry for all this sidetracking. But this actually does connect to 1 Corinthians 11:17 through 34, where it is with a meal, okay? Which goes along with being full. Now, that's kind of hard to do over Zoom. So we haven't really been doing that. And especially we're dealing with 3 different time zones most of the time. So that gets a little hard. But we do, at least me, have a good portion of wine and bread. Okay.
Yep.
I have 2 slices, and I don't know how many ounces this is, but this is a good cup. This is my sacrament cup, actually. But anyways, yeah. And so hopefully that goes with the filled part of your question, right, Lake?
Yeah, I think so. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. We can get into some other details in the sacrament now if you would like to, or if you want to
Sure.
talk about something
Whatever you
else.
want to do. Yeah, don't matter to me.
Okay, so let me go back. We'll go here. So, one I want to bring out, and this is in Dean C 20 also, but this is the position that you should be in. Okay. Now, if you have problems with your knees, don't worry about it. But the preferred is that you're kneeling on your knees. So let's start with verse 1. And the manner of the elders and the priests administering the flesh and blood of the Messiah unto the church, they did administer it according to the commandments of the Messiah. So they're talking about what what the sacrament represents. Okay. Not what it literally is, what it represents.
Don't you dare take that literally.
Yeah, that goes against kosher portion of Torah to take it literally, actually.
Yep.
So, and that's still valid. Even according to Acts 10 and Acts 15 and Mark 7 are the big major ones, but everywhere else there's more. But anyways, and they did administer it to the commandments of the Messiah. Wherefore we know that the matter to be true, and the elders or the priests did administer it. Okay, so just a quick review. The Book of Mormon does talk about priesthood. Priest is Aaronic. Elder is Melchizedek. It's got the
Sorry,
two
where
priests.
are you at? Sorry, where are you at, Stephen?
So this is Moroni 4:1.
Okay,
This
cool.
is after Yeshua. Both Aaronic and Melchizedek priesthood on the earth after Yeshua.
Yeah, right there. 2 priesthoods, Melchizedek and Aaronic in the Book of Mormon, right there. Okay. Okay, now here's the part that it gets into, and it's talking about who's ever doing the blessing of the sacrament, right? The commandments, and then the joy, but actually it's the bread and the wine. But that's what they represent.
Right.
We can get into that in a bit if we want. But they did kneel down with the church. Oh, wait a minute.
With the church.
What does with mean?
To get a sense of togetherness.
Same. Everybody kneels.
A sense of
Yeah.
togetherness.
So it's not only those who are blessing that's kneeling. It's the whole church.
Yeah, well, we're the church, aren't we? The people are the church.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So
The actual word the actual word in the New Testament that's translated church is ecclesia. It's the same word that's translated in the Septuagint when they're talking about the assembly of Israel. And that is what we are when we enter into covenant with Yeshua. For his covenant is only with Yehuda and Israel.
Right. When Judah,
well, Judah's included in Israel.
right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. And then in Jeremiah 31, it separates the two kind of.
Yeah, okay. So there, it's because it's going between the northern and the southern kingdom.
Yeah.
Israel, like other words, is overloaded. So,
Yeah.
Right.
which can make things tricky sometimes to understand. But anyway, that's why we use lots of scriptures to help us understand. We don't just use one and forget all the others. We try to use them all. But anyways, so yes, Ben's right on that. Is as he's bringing it out. I'm prone to just say Israel for all, but yes, some scriptures use Israel as the northern kingdom. So anyway.
Yeah. But we are the church. Yes, we're the church.
Yeah,
As
and
those who covenanted. Yes.
one thing to keep in mind is when Moses left Egypt, he took the Israelites and mixed multitude,
Yeah.
Yes.
and they were adopted into Israel. Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're Israel by blood or by adoption, you're still Israel because Israel means, I don't know if Ben wants to bring it out, but because he
Israel means those who have struggled with God and man and prevailed.
yeah. So
No, it does not mean let God prevail.
yeah. Yahweh wants all his followers to become sanctified. Okay.
And so, yeah, and so that when you enter into covenant with him, you become Israel.
And it's accepted by him, just a little.
Yeah, and it's accepted by him. And your covenant entering is accepted by him as you become Israel.
Yeah.
Because after all, he's in charge of all of this.
Yeah.
So
Well,
so how does that work with all the whole 12 tribes of Israel and like with the LDS, how they do it, like everybody being adopted in or whatnot? How's that all work, do you know?
so there are bloodlines that, especially in today's world, I do believe pretty much everybody is connected to Abraham somehow. If not everybody, pretty close. Okay. Now, the LDS Church does like to proclaim what tribe the patriarch thinks you are. That may or may not be true. Okay.
For instance, the patriarch declared that I was a descendant of Ephraim, but my genealogy screams loud and clear that I'm a descendant of Judah.
Yeah, and Ben's done some genealogy work to bring that out. So this is an example of the patriarch being wrong. Okay. Mine does have Ephraim. I do believe it for many reasons. And I can give you a link to mine. I put it online to read it. So, but just because some man declares it doesn't mean it's actually true. But there, the Northern Kingdom specifically, mostly, with the 10 tribes were scattered throughout the world, and they intermixed or intermarried with other people. So those tribes are in the bloods of lots of people. And then there's diaspora, if I remember the term correctly.
Diaspora. Yes.
Diaspora, okay. Diaspora of the Jews or the southern kingdom, which is Judah and Benjamin. And they did some marrying with the world, not as much as the northern kingdom, though.
And they were a little bit more exclusive. Yes.
Yeah, they're a little more prideful. So, which In the Bible, when it talks about not marrying other people, it's about if they don't believe the same. It's not if they're of another blood. Because Ruth was a Moabite,
Yep.
which is of another blood, but she converted. She believed, and she's completely.
Not only, yeah, the Moabites, they got a special cursing too from Yahweh because they purposefully led the children of Israel astray.
Yeah.
The whole
Yes.
story of Balak and
And
Balaam and the
the
whole nine
other
yards there, yeah.
faithful witness besides Joshua, he was actually a Kenizzite who was adopted into the house of Judah.
Joshua from the book of Joshua?
No, not Joshua, the other faithful scout.
Caleb.
Caleb.
Oh,
Caleb.
Caleb. Okay.
Yeah, Caleb was actually a Kenizzite. He was adopted into the house of Judah, and he was chosen as their representative to go spy on the land.
Okay. So yeah, you can get so this gets into the point where you can be, if you're not of the blood, you can get adopted into a particular tribe. So the basic idea from the Brighamites, LDS Church, is correct. They don't practice it correctly. So
Yeah, you can't just declare an adoption.
yeah. So yeah. Well, not the patriarch. You can pick yourself. And partly it's kind of a combo of the tribe and yourself. But anyways, so the basic idea is true, but it's if you're not of the blood, there's a little more to it than and on that you are the tribe of your father. So if your father has a tribe, that's the son's tribe and the daughter's tribe. It doesn't matter.
Right. It's all done through patriarchy, yes.
Yeah, and I did a resource page recently on that on Alma with an H, not like from the Book of Mormon without the H, but anyways. Which is probably best translated as maiden, in my opinion, not virgin, but that's a whole nother subject. So hopefully that helps on the tribes for you there, Lake.
Yeah, a little bit. Thanks.
Yeah. The Book of Mormon talks about how the Gentiles are adopted into the 12 tribes of Israel.
But yeah, I was about to ask about that. So what's that mean? Yeah, about the Gentiles and stuff. Is that people who don't have the gospel yet?
No, that's just people who aren't Israelites. That's what it is. It doesn't matter if you have the gospel or not. It's just Israelites.
Okay.
I mean non-Israelites. But once you become a believer, then you're adopted into Israel. So I guess in a sense, yeah, it is that spiritually, but physically, it's just those who are not of the actual lineage. But like I brought out before, probably most people on the whole earth today are somehow connected to Abraham. But
Yes.
maybe not all, but pretty close, right?
And if
So
you're not connected to Abraham, it's a darn sure thing you're connected to Noah.
yes, that's for sure. Because of the flood, right?
Yeah.
And nobody but those 8 on the boat survived. Nobody, despite what people claim. So,
Interesting.
okay. So back to the sacrament. There's this key word with. That means everybody is kneeling, not just those who are saying the prayers. Okay. I do know of people that have been excommunicated from the LDS Church for doing that. Even when it was in the foyer to try to be not so.
In your face.
Yeah, I was going to say flamboyant, but that's basically the same thing, right?
Yep. It's funny because the last time I attended an LDS meeting, granted I sat towards the back, but I got down and knelt in the aisle during the sacrament prayer.
Yeah, when I go visit, that's
And
what
nobody said a thing to me, which is funny.
I think they're scared too. Because you just bring this verse right here,
Mhm.
or it's in the D&C too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's get it. D&C. I know it's 20.
20.
I don't know the
20.
verse, but I can I'll Control F. Oh God.
Let's see, where is it? Yeah,
There we go. He shall kneel with. It's
with
right
the
there.
church. Yeah, there it is.
So yeah, it's in D&C 20 too.
I'll take care of it. No, give it to me. Thank you.
Sorry, say that again, Mike.
Oh, no,
Oh,
I'm
he
talking to
was
my
talking
kids.
to somebody
I'm talking to my
else.
kids. Sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. Another thing I think is important to bring out is the symbolism how bread goes along with commandments
Mm-hmm.
and wine goes with joy. And I do believe the order is on purpose of bread than wine. And
Uh-huh.
if on spiritually, we'll focus on spiritually first. If you get joy before the commandments, you won't keep the commandments. And so then you'll become a drunkard or a sinner.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you.
Now,
Like if you drink, just like if you drink too much wine without anything to eat. You
yeah,
get-
Or you get drunk, all right.
bread is one of the best absorbers of wine to make it so you don't get drunk. Okay.
Yep.
There's other things to do, like drink water, which goes along with Revelation, um, but having bread before the wine makes it so you feel the effects of the wine less. Okay. And
Makes
so
sense.
this applies spiritually and physically. Because if you have the commandments before the joy, you'll start keeping the commandments, or you'll keep them even after you have the joy, because you'll understand that's why you have them. If you think you have joy before your desire to keep the commandments, you're going to find excuses to sin and thus be a drunkard.
And we see that on a regular basis.
It's
Yes.
it's almost like for kids and stuff. You got to eat your dinner before you eat dessert or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That is a very good tie there, Lake.
Perfect.
I think you have kids, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I think another thing to bring out real quick, just going off of quick memory, is O Elohim or O God. I don't like the God translation, but I like to go O Elohim. That's a plea.
Yeah.
Saying, please do this, right?
Well, that's further exhibited in we ask thee.
Yes. And asking goes along with the plea.
Yep.
And what's, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the O, it can be an expression of pleading. It can also be an expression of contrition and
What does
sorrow.
that word mean? I'm sorry.
And sorrow.
Contrition.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like humility and
Humility and sorrow.
seeing
Sorrow for
godly
your
sorrow
sins.
for sins committed or whatever.
Okay, so Ben, you want to go look up that definition real quick? Because I don't know how to spell that.
You're good. I'll try it. There.
Oh. Literally O.
Are you wanting O or contrition?
We could start with O.
He
and
can't
then
spell
go
O.
definition.
Okay, all right.
O's gonna.
I don't know how much that's going to do, but
Yeah, we can try.
It's a letter.
it's a letter.
Yeah,
The 15th
it is
letter?
also.
The fourth vowel.
Right.
Just saying, it's a letter.
So clearly the people who wrote the 1828 Webster's Dictionary were not familiar with Shakespearean English.
15th
Okay.
letter,
So-
fourth vowel.
They don't have Torah in there either, from what I can see. It doesn't look like Torah's in the 1828 dictionary.
Oh, here. O is an
Yep, an explanation of wish.
Expressing a wish.
well, that goes
Yeah.
with what I said, right?
Yeah,
So-
it does. It does.
It's the same. It's the same. You guys are basically saying the same thing, just
Yeah.
Oh, it
different
doesn't say
definition.
Mine
contrition.
is more mine was more specific to the sin and the fact that he takes our sin upon us and we take his name upon us. Yeah. He takes
Well, go
our sin
look up
upon him, we
contrition.
take his
Look up contrition.
Oh.
upon us.
Yeah. Working on contrition. The act of grinding or rubbing powder, penitence, deep sorrow for sin, grief of heart for having offended an infinite and infinitely holy and benevolent Elohim. Yep. There you go.
So
So
it is a plea. So it's a plea. Either way, it's a plea.
Either way, it's a plea. It's a
So-
plea. In one instance, it's a plea for forgiveness. In another, it's a
So just do one look. Oh, I'm not seeing the word been saying, but maybe it goes along with what he's saying.
and maybe it's okay.
Well, we're just trying to learn things. So do you want to? Are you doing that,
Yeah,
John?
If I'm wrong, all I'm saying is if I'm wrong, it's okay.
So do we want to go back to O? Because we did
One
O
look.
before.
Oh no, go one look and then
One look. Okay,
Oh,
gotcha.
one look.
One
Oh,
look's the modern one. Webster's the 1828 one. Don't do the thesaurus.
Yeah.
Just do one look.
I typed in one look.
Well,
One look at Soros.
Oh, whatever.
well, there is difference.
well, go click the top one or that one.
Yeah, it's the same link.
Yeah, just take the thesaurus out of the link once you get there. So
Oh,
hit the URL just after the
yeah,
look, get rid of
there, right
everything.
there. And just get rid of thesaurus.
Yeah, and go shift end. Shift end.
Yeah, sorry, give me a second. Sorry.
Shift and okay.
I'm working on it.
Delete enter. And then type O. Anyways, that one's obvious. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I know that.
Oh, it's a letter. Keep telling you, it's a letter.
Noun utterance of the vocative O. Someone associated with Leighton Orient Football Club. Okay.
Okay.
That's lovely.
Opium.
Flipping
Okay.
O.
Slang. Okay, it's definitely not that slang.
This one's not helpful.
No, whoa.
No.
So if it turns out Stephen's more correct than I am.
Well, definitely in the modern lingo, but we found out that Webster's dictionary did say
It
that
is a plea.
The O just go along with a plea or a prayer or asking.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, it's just a plea.
Yeah. So I do find that important, personally. Especially when you look at the last part of the prayer,
Mm-hmm.
that they will keep his commandments, that they may have his spirit to be with them. Now, the commandments is another way of saying Torah, and spirit behavior, and how we're supposed to behave. It's by his
It's by his Torah.
Yeah, because Torah defines what is right and good, thus what we should be doing, thus behaving, how we should behave, right?
Yeah.
It's just in any language, it's not nice to say the same thing multiple times close to each other. It sounds funny, so that's why they're doing it different ways here.
Mm-hmm.
So those are a few quick ideas about the sacrament for you. Another quick one. In both DNC 20 and Moroni 5, it says wine, not water. The LDS Church, Pergamite Church, doesn't even claim a revelation to change it to water. They just do it. Which is funny because they're so particular about the words being perfectly, except for
like you saw, I don't know, I think you saw it, or maybe some other people saw it. But my whole thing on baptism, like I did a post about the baptism being where they totally changed the words or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
Commissioned,
Over the
yeah,
years.
commissioned verse, yes, uh-huh. I did see your post on that, yes.
If I remember right.
It's having been commissioned versus having authority.
Yeah, so here it is in the Book of Mormon, having authority.
Given me of Yeshua HaMashiach, I baptize you in the name of Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit.
So that's what we use when we
I forget where it is in the
rebaptize.
DNC. What section in the DNC is that one? Like
Doctrine and Covenants 20.
It's in 20 as well.
it's 20. So I must not know how to spell commission. Oh, it's two M's. That's my problem. There we go.
Yeah, it is too.
But so that's the current rendition. So
Yep.
let's show a page I like that will show the multiple versions.
Oh yes. Yes.
Bring it back up. So let's look at 28. So this is a nice site, a DNC compare. 28. Oh, what verse number was that? Oh, 73, 73 modern. So, and oh, it's in the 1833, the first, so 73. So you can see originally 1833, it was authority like the Book of Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Well, initially, like if I remember right, yeah, here it is. Initially they what do you call it, like in their whatever they had published in the newspaper, it said just we do it just like the Book of Mormon. That's
Yeah.
all it said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I don't know why it was changed. Now,
When it
I will-
is it also is it still
I think 1835 it changed. We can double check.
1835 it changed?
I think so. It's been a
Well,
while.
Double check. We'll double check.
Oh, what verse was it? Okay.
73.
Yeah, but that's 20. I need the verse of 1833 to compare.
Oh, gee, it was like 50 something.
52. Okay, so I can compare it with 52. I think it changed in 35. But since we know it's 52 on the left, we can use that to find it.
Yeah, 1835. That's what I show.
Yeah, so 1835 it changed.
Yeah.
So I don't believe Joseph Smith did that because Joseph Smith was working on the lectures on faith primarily to put in 1835, which is why it changed from the Book of Commandments to the Book of Doctrine and Covenants. Commandments and covenants go together. They're universal words. You don't believe me? We can go to the Old Testament and bring that out. It's the doctrine, the D&C. I mean, sorry, the lectures on faith is why they add the word doctrine.
Now the
Right.
change to commission may be a reference to the Great Commission.
Yeah, I mean, I use authority, but when you go look at that word in 1828, it does mean authority. But I still use
I
authority.
prefer to use the Book of Mormon version because
Yeah.
it's there's less changes to the text.
Yeah, so you can see authorities throughout the definition.
Authorized to act or perform. Yeah.
But I still prefer the original.
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of baptism and going with the sacrament, so I know they changed it. Like so, before they used to do all the rebaptisms and stuff, and then the church just substituted that with what do you call it? To take the sacrament every week instead of getting rebaptized. How's that all work? Do you guys know?
So baptism is actually the first covenant. Sacrament is a renewal of your sacramental covenant, but so is baptism. Even the Book of Mormon teaches rebaptism, and as Lake brought up, this page even shows it in church history. that Joseph Smith even did it for health.
Right.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
There was one for Emma on that. It's been a while since I've been here. Now I put here because they were baptized before, as you can see above.
Yeah.
I was baptized under the hand, therefore I went into the river and was rebaptized in the hand of Joseph Smith the seer. So they were
Yeah,
baptized.
so a really interesting verse is in, I believe, Alma chapter 5.
Yes, that one's my favorite one, and I have that up the top. It's right there. So go ahead, Ben.
All right. I speak by way of command unto you who belong to the church
Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. So he's giving a commandment to those who are members of the church. How do you become members of the church?
through baptism.
Okay, all right, let's keep that in mind.
And unto those who do not belong to the church, I speak by way of invitation.
All right, so how are you not a member of the church?
Oh, you haven't been baptized.
Okay, very good. Let's keep that in mind.
Yes. You haven't been baptized. Saying, come and be baptized unto repentance.
Okay, so I'm going to interrupt again. So there's these two different groups. One to those who've already been baptized as a commandment, one those who haven't been baptized an invitation to be baptized.
On to
I never
repentance.
saw that.
Yeah, that's pre-baptism right there.
Unto repentance, that ye also may be partakers of the fruit of the tree of life.
Wow.
So rebaptism is
So
a
rebaptism
part.
is actually necessary that you may be a partaker of the fruit of the tree of life, especially if you have sinned against the covenant grievously.
Yeah, so we need to be careful. You only need to be baptized once. Alma, this commandment was to a specific group of people, not everyone, on the rebaptism.
Right, it was to a specific group of people. The thing that you have to bear in mind is that these people had become lax in their keeping of the way.
Well, is that because wasn't he Benedict called them all to repentance, and then Alma's teaching them? So it's probably people that were
Alma
So
5,
this
Alma
was the people
5
of Zarahemla.
is Alma preaching to the people of the land. He gave up his judgment seat and went and preached to the people on the land.
Okay.
Because they had.
Yeah, this is Alma, the son of Alma.
Okay, yeah.
Alma, the son.
So Alma 5 is to, if I remember correctly, a church that was not really evil, but they got a little lazy.
Yeah,
Correct.
basically.
Yes.
Oh, and baptism is to show, or maybe a better way of saying, to quote Alma 18, it's a witness of a covenant that's already been made. He wanted them to show for the church members that were being lazy that they have recommitted to keeping all of Yahweh's commandments, which goes along with Mosiah 18.
So while rebaptism is not necessarily required, it is a good way to recommit yourself.
Yeah, and I've done it multiple times. Some are on,
Me too.
some of them are on YouTube, some are not. But this commandment was given by a servant of Yah to specific people, but it does teach that rebaptism is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I never read that before. I never saw that. Wow, that's good. Thanks for pointing that out.
So I have my three favorite ones. Next one's Moroni 6:1. Josh, you want to read that one?
Sure.
So this is the actual verse right there.
Right. Wait. Oh,
The one
that-
above it is
right.
me
Yeah.
talking
I
about
was
it.
going to say, wait a minute. I'm reading. This is not a verse. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got it now. All right. And now I speak concerning baptism. Behold, elders, priests, and teachers were baptized.
Okay, let's pause a minute. So, elders, priests, and teachers are members of the church, right?
Already. Well, yeah.
Yeah, they're members. they're already members, right? That's how you become them. Because then you show forth the fruits to become them,
Right.
which if we go look at the church government page, it shows that though the members vote them in. It's different than what
Yes.
the LDS Church teaches that they're done by inspiration. No, it's done by vote. That word is so much in the DNC.
Mm-hmm.
And
The only time. Go ahead.
though Alma consecrated the priests, the fact that in the DNC it's so clear that we vote on a lot of these things, it is it indicates that he did not select them by necessarily.
Yeah, they were voted on first, and you can get that with Moses. Moses was told to select those that the people respected. And how do you show that? Vote.
Voted.
It's another way of saying
I support you. Hey, a vote is saying I support you.
Yeah.
Which is
The only
why-
time. Go ahead.
Which is why it's not a good idea to vote for the lesser of two evils in a political sense.
That's a whole nother subject.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say vote for evil is still a vote for evil.
Yeah.
But anyways.
So in the DNC, the only place it says sustain has to do with governmental leaders.
Yes.
Never with church leaders. Church leaders, once a ward or a stake, or sorry, bad habit, branch. Ward is nowhere in the DNC. It's only branch. Once a branch is organized, things are done by vote, common consent. Before they're organized, it can be done by inspiration, revelation.
Right.
But once it's organized, it's by the people. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, I like the second half of this verse too.
Okay,
because
but but to finish this, so these guys were baptized to have those titles, and then they were baptized after they had those titles, not before.
Right.
Showing rebaptism.
Right. But the second part of this verse is just as important.
Yes, it is. Go ahead.
They were not baptized. They brought forth fruit meet that they were worthy of it.
Yeah, as in they're showing that they were actually keeping Torah.
Yes.
Which goes along with Mosiah, I think it's 27, how Alma, the elder, is bringing out how don't call anybody to be your teacher or leader unless they are keeping Torah themselves.
Which is what? Oh, the contrite heart and broken spirit.
Yeah.
The broken heart and contrite.
Well,
Yeah,
those are attributes of those are attributes of people who are repenting, which are working on keeping Torah, right?
Yep.
So, John, you want to read this last one, Rona 8:10?
Behold, I say unto you that this thing shall ye teach, repentance and baptism unto those who are accountable and capable of committing sin. Yea, teach parents that they must repent and be baptized.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. So, what parent is going to want their kid baptized? Probably one that's been baptized, right?
Yeah.
So, these parents that have been baptized, they're being told that they need to repent and be baptized.
So that they can be saved with their children.
And humble themselves as their little children. And they shall all be saved with their little children.
Yeah. So here it's teaching rebaptism.
There's
There's others in the Book of Mormon, but unless you know the principle already, they're harder to see. Okay. These three, it's pretty easy to bring it out if someone didn't see it in the first place. So that's why these are my three favorites, with Alma 5 being my absolute favorite.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Yeah.
This is the most obvious there.
Yeah, I'd say
Now you'll see if you look through here. Here's Joseph Smith teaching it. Now, the Brigham actually forced people to be rebaptized when they got in Utah, because he's reorganizing the church. But the way he says it, he doesn't deny anybody the ability to be rebaptized. So trying to make it sound nice. But after that, once they got their occult temples up, initially they would be rebaptized before they went and got their endowment. And I think it was Joseph F. Smith that stopped that.
Oh, lovely, lovely man.
Well, Joseph F. Smith was trying to make the church look like it was Christian.
Yeah. Anyways, that gets in a big can of worms. Oh, okay. Rebaptism is a requirement to enter the temple. Discontinued in 1893. Was who was?
That's Joseph F. Smith.
Oh, okay. So I did remember the guy for he did a
Yep.
lot of interesting things. So, anyways, so I did remember that correctly.
A lot of what I can tell you is that a lot of fundamentalists think of Joseph F. Smith as a traitor.
No, I can understand that on some aspects, but he also did a lot of lying to support polygamy, which they
Right.
love. So he's a mixed bag, right? But anyways.
Yeah.
Anyways, they did it for a long time, but they stopped because they didn't want to look funny to other people.
Yep.
Which goes against the fact that they claim they don't change doctrine or practices because of the pressure of the world. They do it all the time.
Yep. Yep.
Oh, and then one, I don't have here, I need to move it over. But Naaman rebaptized 7 times.
Oh yeah, and he got healed. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you go
For
look at
health.
words behind it in Hebrew, it's rebaptism.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it related to the mikvah?
Yeah, it was a mikvah. I mean, that's the Hebrew word for rebaptism.
Yeah.
I don't remember the actual words. We'd have to go look, but when you do look at the Hebrew, it does talk about it. It's a baptism.
Interesting.
It points to baptism.
Yeah, and he had to go fully under. And
Yeah.
then 7
He had
has
to
to
immerse
do
himself. Yeah, that's right.
7 goes along with perfection or perfectly. He had to do it with the perfect heart before it
Mhm.
worked, and it took him a little while. In fact, even if those who remember the history, he didn't want to do it at first. He's like, "This is dumb."
Oh, he fought against it. Yeah, he was like, "You insult me."
The
Yeah.
rivers in Assyria are greater than this Jordan. Why can't I dip in them?
Yeah. So it was a lot of tests. I do believe it doesn't say this in scripture, so this is me saying this. I think it took him 7 times to finally really hit him to let go and truly be broken heart and contrite spirit.
Contrite spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the 7 is also the number of completion.
Right. I did say that.
Yeah.
I know this is beyond scriptures. I wonder if it took him that long to change, to have the change of heart.
The complete change of heart.
Yeah.
Talking when he was baptized, so he was in the river. Wasn't that in the river? And like Jesus was in the river.
Yeah, it's the same Jordan River.
So what's that? I've heard different things about that. So being baptized in a river, like where the water's moving instead of not.
Okay. River, it doesn't necessarily have to be a river, but in the scriptures there is this idea of living water. Living water is moving water. So I would say a spring, a river, a spring, and I personally would include a lake, but I can see why some people might not. But
Or on the ocean's edge, no big deal.
yeah, or ocean's edge. The ocean is definitely more
The idea
It's
is that
definitely moving.
the idea is that the water is moving.
correct, not stagnant.
Right.
Like a font or whatever.
Yeah, don't go to a marshy pond and try to do it.
Yeah, because that becomes like a marsh, which stagnant water actually starts representing sin. and it turns into a marsh, or a swamp, which actually does literally represent despair because of sin.
Yeah, sin and death.
Uh, um,
And a lot of people, when they get ensnared by the marsh, get pulled down and destroyed.
yeah, yeah. And I kind of talk about the swamp and marsh in my Joseph Smith last stream. And I bring it out from scriptures. It does go along with despair and sin.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason for living water. If you can do it that way, it's best. I when Philip, if I remember correctly, in the book of Acts, baptized a eunuch, right? When he was
Yes. Yes.
I'm not sure what he got baptized in, to be honest. I've heard various theories, but up to maybe
All he says is, look, here is water.
yeah. Um, it's not clear what type of water. I'm hoping it was living water and not stagnant, dead water, but I don't know. Anyways, um, I wouldn't say that stagnant like water that like in the font that LDS Brighamites use invalidates it, but it does kind of take away from the symbolism. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you, Stephen, about the lake or whatever being more, because if it's got stuff coming in and possibly out and stuff, like where it's more living than a marsh where it just sits there or whatever, I would think a lake would possibly qualify. Like if
Yeah,
there's something,
I can see that. I guess the issue is if it's more of a dead lake, right?
yeah, yeah.
No. So, because there's lakes of both types, right? For example, the Great Salt Lake, I would say, is a dead lake because it's not moving out.
Yeah.
I think the Utah Lake is a live lake, if I remember correctly, because it has things going out, if I remember.
Yeah. Lake Waco is a live lake. It has an outlet.
Yeah.
Um,
So lakes could be a little more debatable.
you just have to know the lake, know if there's an outlet and an inlet.
Yeah, and there's hot springs close to me. I've done it for people, and that counts 'cause it's moving, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's bubbling up from underneath.
Yeah, yeah, and then it's moving away. So
Yeah, I got my first rebaptism in a lake that had a couple of different outlets. So yeah.
So
but
how
like I
often or
said,
how
I
do
don't
we?
think
Sorry,
stagnant
go ahead.
water disqualifies your baptism. Okay, so.
How often or how do you know when to be rebaptized?
Whenever you want. So if you ask one of us to do it, I have questions that I will ask, and specifically it'll be Acts stuff, the questions from Acts 15, the questions from Moroni 6, and Alma 18.
Yes.
But it is mainly going along the lines, without getting into specifics, that you believe Yeshua is the promised Messiah and you are striving to keep his Torah. Is basically what it
Yep,
gets.
pretty much.
So,
There are more specific questions in that, but that's the general gist of
yeah,
it.
it's a general overview.
Yeah.
Actually, good times are around high holidays, which are 3 times a year. There is
Yeah.
no limit how often you can do it, though if you want to do it every week, that might be a little much. But ultimately, it's between you, Yahweh, and who you ask. Okay. Um, but I don't think there's any minimum or maximum. Well, there is a minimum once of being baptized.
Minimum, you have to do it at least once.
Yeah, but that's not rebaptism. So just to clarify a little bit. But I don't think there's a max, but I would just say if it's been a while, like at least maybe last high holiday or something, and you're inclined to find someone
Do
who
it.
has the
I would
Aaronic
encourage it.
and
I would encourage it.
do it.
Yeah. If somebody you know has a valid Aaronic priesthood, get a baptism from them.
Do they need to be over a certain age?
Yes, they have to be
Yes,
25.
that's
They have, what was that?
25.
25, yes.
Where do you get that
the
number
person
from?
with the
I've heard
he's
Brendan say that
asking,
before too.
does the person have to be a certain age to be baptized or
Oh,
rebaptized?
no, not
No,
not
no,
to
I'm
do the
talking-
baptism.
Yeah, no, that's
To
what I'm
be
talking about. Yeah.
baptized. So to be baptized is 8 Hebrew, which is 7 Greek. And when I say 25, I mean 25 Hebrew, which is 24 Greek. Because Hebrews do inclusive time, Greeks do exclusive time. As in, like when you're first born, you're in your first year. In Hebrew thought, in Greek thought, you've done a full year.
The reason for where you get 25 from is from the law,
Yeah.
with the age that Levites were allowed to begin their public ministry.
Where did it talk about that? Do you know where to find that?
I can find it for you later. I don't know if I
Yeah, no
have.
worries. Yeah,
Let me see if I have it real quick. If I don't, I'll give it to you later.
yeah, no worries.
I don't have everything memorized, and I know it's in my notes. It's just where in my notes.
No. Yes, he has copious amounts of notes.
Yeah.
I might have too many. And Melchizedek priesthood stuff, you need to be 25 to do them publicly. I mean, sorry, 30. Aaronic priesthood stuff, which can do baptisms, right? As defined by
25,
Book of
24
Mormon
Greek.
and D&C 20, if I remember correctly. You need to be 25 Hebrew. And to do the Melchizedek stuff within the church, you need to be 30 Hebrew or 29 Greek, which actually, a little tidbit for you, that's when the church organization changed, because Joseph Smith was 30 Hebrew. He could now enact in the church his Melchizedek priesthood.
Yeah.
He had it before, but he couldn't use it publicly within the church.
Mm-hmm.
And so the church structure change actually happened when Joseph Smith was old enough to do his Melchizedek priesthood publicly in the church.
What does that entail?
Offices.
And the different offices have different
Requirement.
responsibilities.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay, yeah,
you
like
could
it's
say.
Requirements, different responsibilities.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't. So the LDS Church gives Aaronic and Melchizedek priesthood too early. In fact,
Way too early.
they don't even have the Melchizedek priesthood, nor do I. Okay.
Well, that's what I wondered about. Yeah, because I heard that too.
Melchizedek
Yeah, no,
is
no.
given by the voice, not laying on of hands. Aaronic priesthood is given by laying on of hands. So, and there's symbolism with this. The Melchizedek priesthood is to be the voice of Yah. The Aaronic priesthood is to be the hands or workers of Yah. Hence the reason how they're given.
Yeah. It
Right.
is, yeah. Yeah,
Can we pause?
Yeah, I'll pause.